All right, welcome. Yes, today I'm going to share with you how to communicate effectively with your wife even when she doesn't understand you, or with your spouse, your husband if you are a wife watching this. I'm going to be using examples for men because this is designed to help men recover their marriages. But of course, the principles are from scriptures and it can bless you. This is a 5-day series, and the first day we started with the 3 core ingredients in a great marriage. We are talking about war against divorce, how to make sure that your marriage just gets better and better and doesn't go towards separation or divorce. That's the goal. That's my goal doing these presentations. Yes. Now, if you were there with me yesterday, you are watching this one as the first video, do not skip the first one. The first one is so important. It gives us the overview of all the things we're going to be talking about. So go back and watch that video. I'll put the link to it in the description of this one. And in that video, I discussed yesterday, we agreed that there are 3 things that makes a marriage work. Number 1, and that makes a marriage great, if there's communication between the two of you, that such that you can speak your mind and not be ashamed, not be attacked. You can be both naked and not ashamed. In other words, vulnerable and not judged, not ridiculed. And so we're going to look at how to get to that point. You're not going to suddenly appear there like I shared yesterday. This has to be developed. It's a skill that has to be developed. At first, it looks impossible, but if you continue to work on it, it becomes possible. So that's the first one. The second one is unity. When you find that you and your wife, you have one goal, one purpose, you are uniting your visions to form one so that you can achieve the vision that God called you to. If you have that in your marriage, it's going to be excellent. I'm going to talk about how to get there tomorrow. The last one is connection, friendship, intimacy, spirit, soul, and body. When you have a friend, someone you can trust, you can rely on, you can share your deep secrets with, and you can connect with emotionally and also connect with intimately. You have a good sex life, then that's a fantastic marriage. If you have the 3 components, these 3 core things in your marriage is great. So today I want to talk about communication. So what is really the problem? Why is it that a person that you chose to get married to has become so difficult to communicate with? How does that happen? I've been there before. And I want to share how God showed me the way out of that. All right. So the first thing is to understand the foundations of how you got married in the first place. A man finds a woman that he loves and says, I want to marry you. Why does he say that? He says that because all the time that they are engaging one another, he loves the way she makes him feel. And she loves the way he makes her feel. That's the foundation. So let's move forward. So you met this beautiful woman and you love her, and you prayed about it, because this is for believers. You prayed about it. You said, yes, God, I want to marry this woman. Is this the person for me? You felt led that this is the right person for you, and you took the bold step to talk to her, and you both agreed to get married. You communicated very well. She accepted. You communicated with your parents. Everybody came together and you got married. That's good communication. Everything is going well. Now, you then proceeded to do the wedding. You proceeded to communicate until you have children. But then something begins to happen that makes it difficult for you to continue to communicate. And now, when you communicate, there is constant argument between both of you. And this is what I want to solve for you today. What causes that argument? It is because your expectations have changed. When your expectations change, then you begin to desire the other to do things for you that maybe they feel they can't do. So how can we change that? There's a book that I read by John Maxwell. It talks about 16 undeniable laws of communication. It's a good book. 16 undeniable laws of communication. If you can pick up that book, it will help you, of course, to speak to the public, but then it's also good for just communication in general. And there's a law there, the law of connection. And it says this is the most important law in those 16 laws. And the law of connection says it's about others. Every kind of communication is about others. That's the truth. Whenever you're thinking of communicating, you are trying to pass some information to another person. But more importantly, remember that communication is a transformation. It's a vehicle for transforming the other person. You're transferring some information to the other person to trigger certain reaction. Now, it's not an easy thing, but it's what you must do. It's like learning how to swim. It's like learning how to play the keyboard. It's like learning how to build a computer, whatever skill that you're learning. You got to practice. And that's where a coach is needed. When you have a coach, it makes the journey faster. And it tells you that it is possible. There are certain things that most of you know that I'm learning how to swim. There are certain things my teacher tells us to do. I've not been able to do them. I know this the third or fourth lesson in this new series. I've done the first set of 9. I've been able to pass those. Now we're starting another set of 9. I can't do certain things, no? Stay on your back and float, put your chest up. It doesn't work for me. It works. It's just that they said that I need to change something in my mind. And no matter how much I'm told to do it, I'm not able to do it until I practice. So some of these things that I'm sharing with you, just know them as the goal that you have to achieve and begin the process. And keep at it. If you keep at it and you don't give in and you ask questions, you're going to get the result. And you'll be amazed at how you can have much deeper connection with your spouse and not shut down. Now, let me just say one more thing before I wrap up for today. What if you are the one that starts the communication and they blow up? They just blow up. What do? Well, you stay calm and you continue to discuss. Now, sometimes when the person blows up, you know that you cannot continue because they are completely out of their mind. Yeah, you stop and then you continue next time. The goal is to remind yourself that I am here to love you, not to get you to love me. But it's so hard to do. It's so hard to do when you're not used to that. What most of us are used to is getting you to love me, getting you to respect me, getting you to do your thing the right way that I need to do it. It's not, hear people saying it's not fair. Why would you treat me like that? Yes, you're right that people should not treat you negatively. But when you change your mind from, I don't need you to treat me like this, to feel like this, to feel right, to feel good. This is my space, and I'm not going to let your craziness, your blowing up, your accusations, your lies change my day. It's a different mindset entirely. And what you're doing is you're breaking the cycle of negativity and you are creating a new cycle. You have to pay that price. Remember Romans chapter 5 verse 8. In this, love is demonstrated to us. How? Christ died for us while we were yet sinners. When we were at our worst, blowing up, getting crazy, doing foolish things, lying, deceiving, Jesus gave his best. What's his best? His sacrifice. Your best is now to be patient, but of course not to indulge wrong things. You stick to the positive. You stick to the truth. You speak it. You stay with it until it changes the person. All right. So if you are watching me for the very first time, you're not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe. We're going for 5 days of war against divorce. And this is day number 2. Today, we're talking about how to create a safe space for communication. And the core of what I've just shared with you is that you cannot communicate properly when you're thinking about yourself. You cannot stop thinking about yourself when you're drowning and hurt. So focus on getting healed so that you can communicate properly by focusing on your spouse. And when you do that, you're going to create a new atmosphere where both of you can speak freely and not be ashamed. Somebody has to start, and then the other person gets enrolled along the way. And tomorrow I'm going to talk about unity, how to move forward and work together. Work together in your finances. I'm going to share my story of how we do that. Work together in your finances, work together in your ministry. I'm always going to give you the core stuff that you need to know, because once you know that, every other thing can be built on it. Like yesterday, I gave you the core 3 things that must be in marriage. Today, I've given you the main ingredient, which is think about the other. But of course, you can't think about the other unless you are healed. No drowning person thinks about any other person. It's not possible. You can't be drowning and be thinking of others at the same time. When you are drowning, you think of survival. And so we got to get you not to be drowning in life so that you can then think about your wife. So that's today's one. Tomorrow, I'm going to give you the core of how do you work together, have your life together, manage your visions. What is the core? What is it that you need to know and do? We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to talk about how to get intimacy, how to have intimacy in spirit, soul, and body, and to have a good sex life. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I'm going to share from my experience, and I'm going to share how I help others to do so. All right. So the Lord bless you, and share this with others. Until tomorrow, continue to love like Jesus and make mega impact.